Adolescence is a difficult time for both parents and kids. It's a time in which kids are learning their own independence, parents are learning to let go. But as a parent, how do you know your child's not alone fighting a battle that they're having a difficult time with? Depression in teens is common, but how do we know that it's not just someone who wants to be alone in their room versus someone who's really battling? Well, sometimes the best way to tell that is with a story. And my son, Corey, has volunteered to talk about his story and his battle with depression. So Corey, when did you notice things starting to get hard?
I noticed during COVID, after like a couple months of being in lockdown, it felt like the days were just repeating themselves over and over again, and I felt a little bit lost.
At that time, how did it affect things like your sleep?
I felt exhausted at all times. I fell asleep, I woke up for class, even was falling asleep in classes, and then once school ended, went right back to bed.
And I know, because I live in the house with you, you were still playing your video games, you were still playing with your phone, but did you find ways of being happy?
It wasn't the same as it was. It felt nullified, just kind of from the repetitiveness of it and not being able to actually see anyone person to person.
And as someone who at that time was really active, you were playing soccer all the time, how did things change for you with your exercise and your energy level?
I mean, I didn't really exercise at all. Soccer got cut off, so I didn't really move, and I was just kind of sitting around. My energy was abysmal, just always tired.
And finally, what about your appetite?
I always felt like I was a little bit hungry. I always snacked on something because I found myself at home and there was nothing really else to do.
So these are all kind of subtle signs that people can see with depression. Lack of sleep or insomnia, feeling tired all the time, no energy, lack of joy. They could be warning signs of someone feeling depressed. Corey, how would you describe your mood during that period of time, and which direction was it going?
It felt kind of like a void. I always had this feeling of dread and kind of like sadness looming over me, but it almost felt just like gray. There was no feeling really. It just felt empty no matter what I did, no matter if I tried to do something I enjoy. It just kind of felt like there was nothing. And I started to get really scared because it felt like my brain wasn't my own brain. I was thinking about stuff it didn't feel like I was myself. So I reached out to someone because it didn't feel like me.
That night he reached out to me, and that was the time we decided it was time to get help. So from that point, Corey saw a psychologist and a psychiatrist, and we got him treatment. And his treatment included both therapy and a course of SSRIs, in this case Prozac. It was a long road, but Corey recovered, became stronger, and I'll let him finish the story.
I felt like the medication did a world for me. It really helped me, and it helped me get a lot more joy and happiness into my life. But looking back on it after getting off of it, when I was on it, it did feel like a big fog where it's the same kind of thing where everything just kind of felt nullified. There wasn't really any sadness, but there wasn't really any happiness either. It was just kind of nothing. Even though that does sound bad, I felt it was for myself, it was very necessary for me to be on them. It felt so much better on them than beforehand by a long shot.
I hope those of you out there, teens and parents of teens who see their kid going through this, will realize that the most important part of this story is when Corey made the decision on his own to call for help. You're not alone, but that's what it feels like, and you're isolated. But if you reach out for help, there is help available, and there are many, many success stories just like Corey.
There's one thing to take away from this video. It's that if you ever are in that state of mind, know the wave will pass. Just reach out to someone and get the help you need.
We will put some resources for where to reach out in the description below.